Well, just heard a little while ago on the news that North Korea has attacked South Korea with an artillery barrage on one of their islands that apparently both of them dispute belongs to them, or to be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure what all that issue's about. But no one seems to dispute the fact that North Korea has attacked South Korea after asking them to desist from conducting a military drill that a war game, I guess you would call it, that South Korea does apparently every year. They do this, so this is not an unknown thing. But for whatever reason, the North Koreans have decided that this represented a threat to them, or that it was a provocative measure, and they have decided to attack South Korea, has killed 2 of its soldiers, has wounded, I believe at current figures were about 20 other people, and damaged about 50 buildings or so that are on this island. So, relating this back to the prediction that I had on November the 4th, that there was a possibility that war was going to be starting in Asia sometime soon, I think that this certainly has that potential. I don't think it's quite at a tipping point yet where it's inevitable that war must occur. I think that this is one of those kind of gray zones that you get every now and then when it comes to making predictions. It could very well be that it's about to tip into something, or it may not. I think that if you're going to see it become irrevocable, that there must be war, there will have to be another incident that's going to occur, and that one, I'm thinking, could involve ships. So if there's some sort of an incident where you see the North Koreans or the South Koreans attack one of the ships of the other nation, and that ship is destroyed, or a lot of sailors are killed, something like that, then I think that you can then say that it is almost an inevitability. As far as I am concerned, my opinion is that it becomes then an inevitability that there's going to be a conflict that will escalate and involve both nations. That may happen now. That it's kind of, like I say, it's sort of kind of the feeling I get when I think about the situation is it's just sort of a precarious position right now. And several people, though, have told me in the past, well, both nations are a little too rational to actually just fall into this kind of thing happens, and they've never actually fallen into war with one another before. My counter to that would be is that there's this feeling of there's the potential for single individuals to actually have an impact on the war or a conflict or start of a conflict. And by that, what I mean is that there is the potential for a single individual's act, like one soldier standing at the border who gets nervous and decides that he's going to shoot at a shadow, or one radar technician who mistakes a flock of birds and reports that it's a flight of airplanes coming to attack. Those kind of things are kind of where this is at in a crux point right now, where the actions of just 1 or 2 people could be enough to actually tip this over. A captain of a ship who decides, instead of turning his ship and running away, decides instead he's going to fire his weapons. It's that kind of situation right now that I feel that we're in, that could somewhat cause the nations to blunder into war with one another. Not terribly dissimilar to what happened in World War I, where nobody really wanted to go to war. It's just that the actions of the other nations, once they began, made war inevitable because they just couldn't back off. And that seems to be, this conflict has that feel to it, as though there's going to be something that could escalate from this. So I'm going to, because there have actually been people who've actually been killed, I'm going to kind of label this as a successful prediction, because we actually have seen artillery fire between the two nations, and people have been killed. So I'm going to call the November 4th prediction that a possibility of a war, which is what I stated, that there was a possibility of a war erupting in Asia I'm going to say that seems as though now that's become. I don't think anybody would dispute that now. If you want to argue with me about it, I think I could probably come back with a pretty good argument and say it's a hell of a lot more likely now than it was even a few weeks ago. But anyway, it's the holiday season here in the United States. So I'm going to wish everybody a good Thanksgiving. Let's hope that things remain calm, and we'll see what happens both this month and next month, and on towards the new year. So everybody have a good holiday.